gamers of Reddit, what are the strangest things you've heard over an open mic? Was playing Dawn of War on TeamSpeak and this guy got in a loud, heated argument accusing his wife of having an affair because she walked in the door at like midnight. We were going to kick him from the channel but it got really juicy, then it got scary, then it got sad. I think he was playing to distract himself. Some friends and I were playing Call of Duty the day Bernie Mac died. We were talking about it and a black guy on our team thought we were making it up. When we finally convinced him, he was quiet for a few seconds, then, in a very distraught tone, said, "Man, I gotta call my mama," and left the game. This is actually really endearing. Several years ago I was doing a 40-person raid in WoW. Many people in the guild were from CA. At the time I lived in Oakland. We hear one guy around Napa call out, "Whoa," then a few seconds later I feel a pretty substantial earthquake and announce it over vent. A few seconds a couple people around San Jose chime in, they're surprised too. It was pretty cool to hear how the quake rippled south in real time. I had something similar in World of Tanks. With a couple guys who were from Los Angeles like me. We both felt an earthquake at the same time on TeamSpeak. Was pretty funny. There was a guy who got on the microphone while his friend was playing and told us, "Okay, time to get some culture, you illiterate shoots," and then proceeded to start reading the Brothers Karamazov out loud. Some people say he's still reading the Brothers Karamazov over that game to this day. I was on a co-op mission on a World War II flight sim. There was around 16 of us playing and one guy was pretty wasted. We were cruising along on the way to the target area when suddenly we started hearing snoring. Loud snoring. Some guys started yelling, "Wake up," but to no avail, and shortly after we hear a loud crashing and rattling over comms, followed by a "AWW frick, son of a bitch, I'm fricking bleeding." Guy passed out and smashed his head on the floor. Couldn't finish the mission cause we all were laughing so hard. I'm picturing his plane slowly losing altitude, slowly inverting as he began snoring. Playing with a pug in Destiny. We had just finished a raid and we were taking a 15-minute smoke break before jumping into the next one. It was winter and one of the guys had stepped outside for a quick smoke and still had his headset on. A few minutes into the break we hear an "oh crap," then the sound of someone banging on doors and windows as he tried to get back inside his house. Apparently he has locked himself out and didn't have a way back in. Realizing he still had his headset, he put the earphones back on and was like, "Guys, I need help. I'm locked out of my house without a jacket, and I don't have my phone." I asked if there was anyone that I could call. Dude couldn't recall his mother, dad, sister, etc. phone numbers off the top of his head. I asked where he lived and started to pull up the non-emergency police contact for his area. Then he had a bright idea. "Dude, call the Arby's in Estate X Town Wilf said Road and ask for Sarah. That's my sister. Tell her to call my mom so she can bring the spare set of keys over." So that's what I did. I called and she was the one to actually answer the phone. Phone is answered. Me. "Hey, is the assistant manager named Sarah there?" Her. "Yeah, that's me. What can I do for you?" Me. "This is a bit odd, but I'm playing an online game with your brother Andrew. He stepped out for a smoke and locked himself out without a jacket. He doesn't have his phone, so he told me to call you so you could call your mom to see if she can bring the spare keys over." Her. "Oh no, yeah, I can do that. Are you one of my brother's friends?" Me. "Nope, just met him online today. I live about 1,500 miles from your location." Her. "Oh, okay, well thanks for calling and letting me know. I'll call mom and let her know." We say bye and phone call ends. About 5 minutes later I get a call from the same area code, different number though, and it's dude's mom in a slight panic asking if her son was okay and having me let him know she was on her way right now. I played operator for about 20 minutes until she got to his place. One of the most interesting online gaming moments for me. TLDR. Saved a kid from death by hypothermia. Not really strange as in creepy, but I was playing XGO match when a kid on my team yelled "HA, get fricked" after getting a kill. Then our entire team hears him screaming, crying, and begging for forgiveness from his mother beating him for cussing that loud. He probably got beat up with a set of jumper cables. My raid group was pretty diverse. 2 guys from the Bronx, SP, myself and another from the UK and a few from Norway. Finland and one from Ukraine. We were pretty new to the game and hadn't cleared the final boss of a very tough raid yet, but we were coming close. One of the Bronx guys died straight away, lag issues constantly but we'll never kick him. But proceeded to do a live freestyle rap about what each person was doing in the raid in lieu of a commentary. Crap was amazing. Wish we had recording software back then. Second was the Ukraine guy. Just signs onto TS one day and says war has broken out. I won't be on for the raid laughs. Signs out and repeats the same message in game to the guildies who weren't on TS. He kinda worried for a few weeks but he eventually managed to contact one of us via our forum to say all was well and he'd moved to a new safer city with family while things die down. Can't wait for him to get back. His DPS was straight up demonic. Just a causal so, yeah, I live in a war zone. Probably won't be on for a while. Not strange but caught me really off guard. A CS server I used to frequent, a guy can on voice accounts to say goodbye like a normal person would, but what he said was that he just finished chemo and that he would play during his treatments. Now that he wasn't getting chemo he wouldn't have that time to play anymore. It was a nice change to hear after the usual chatter. That'll always stick with me. I really hope he wouldn't have much time to play anymore because he was going on to live the rest of his life. My WoW raid leader's wife masturbating and having a screaming orgasm while we were raiding Black Temple. He took his headset off and queued it up just as she got off next to him. It was a weird guild. Edit. Oh. And in Wrath. In the same guild, we were working on 3 Drake Sotherian when one of our mages yelled, AFK mom on fire mid-pull. Turned out she really did catch on fire while cooking. He had to take her to the emergency room. A few years ago, I was in a rift guild with the strangest California desert hicks. This couple lived in the hills outside San Diego on some big piece of property with their kids and the guy's parents. They were actually decent enough of players. He was an especially solid tank, but dang if they didn't interrupt raid for the craziest of reasons. One week it was kid with a broken arm. The next, the in-laws' roof was on fire. The frequency and kind of incident were always enough to make the rest of us wildly speculate about what the heck kind of living situation these people had. The best time they interrupted raid, guys, we gotta take 20. The kangaroo is loose again. Be right back, grandma's on fire. Playing Call of Duty a few years back, heard a woman having a really viscous vicious rant towards her husband who was in our team. Dong size was mentioned, mothers were berated and infidelity was confessed. The guy just played on. COD was his safe place. Was playing League while talking to some guys over TeamSpeak. Dude says he'll be right back, but leaves his mic on. Out of nowhere, you hear him and his dad getting into a massive fight. When the fight was nearly over, we heard the dad scream, and why does your room smell like crap? And the kid replied, cause I crap in IT. Dude hasn't been back on that TS since. My brother plays League, used TeamSpeak, and would get into fights with our dad over his room's stench. I think that was my brother, man. A couple years back on PSN I believe I heard the last argument one couple ever had. Playing GTA 4, dicking around at the airport I overhear some lady scream, I've been working all day and all you've been doing is playing that stupid game. It developed into a huge fight. They were screaming back and forth for at least 15 minutes until his mic went quiet and his account logged off. That may have been me. My GF used to play WoW a lot and was playing with her guild, and during a break she started playing with her dog and baby talking to it. She accidentally hadn't muted her mic so her whole guild was listening and they kept quiet and recorded it. The audio track was on the guild website for a while. That's freaking hilarious. Not directly related, but what about that WoW, or maybe League, streamer that had sex on camera after forgetting to turn off his live stream? Raiding Kara in WoW. Backstory, there was this player, Josh Warrior, who had joined our guild. He was, as one can easily deduce, a warrior. He was as terrible can be. Didn't know what a rotation was. Couldn't gear properly. He was only like 11 so we let it slide, but his general inability to learn or even try to learn made his life as a guild much short. The story, it was near the end of BC, and my druid tank wasn't very geared, relative to endgame, so I would use him to help out new, fresh guilds get through Kara. As I could sleep through any encounter and still maintain aggro and not really worry, I decide to help out this one guild. And who shows up? Josh Warrior. I lolled and continued on. My bear was indestructible. Vent was a fun conversation. Everyone was chill and thankful of my help. I don't really remember where we were in the raid, when suddenly Josh Warrior flatly proclaims my dad just had a heart attack. I think he's dead. Progress comes to a stop. Holy crap. Did he need to go help him? Did he want to leave? We'd get a replacement. No. The ambulance is here and my dog is really big. If I go out of my room, he'll definitely get out and attack the paramedics. The most awkward silence ever ensued, and we continued on through a few trash packs. Finally, their guild leader stops the raid and starts asking Josh how he's doing. Fine. I think he's dead. We can keep going though. I just want some loot. We finished the rest of the raid in near complete silence except for me coordinating the encounters. I've never felt so awkward over Vent. Nobody else uttered a word. Every person from the guild whispered apologies and gave resounding thanks. That was, by far, the most memorable and fricked up raid ever. What the actual frick? I've been playing WoW for 10 odd years and thought I'd heard some howlers in raid, but that's just incredible. I joined a COD lobby to hear this dialogue between two other gamers. Hey man, do you remember your first BJ? Yep. What did it taste like? Blood? Wah. What? Too much teeth. Was playing World of Tanks on Xbox 360, and this guy on my team, who was playing in a German tank, was blaring German military music from World War II over the mic. It wasn't strange, more so an out of the blue sort of thing. If I was playing as a German tank, you better believe I would have Panzerlied on in the background. Was playing Call of Duty a few years ago and there was a bunch of kids mouthing off. I'm 35, I generally ignored it and tried to be a good sport because they were just being kids. I get my butt totally handed to me, as usual, and I'm sitting in the lobby after a particularly brutal loss when one of the kids goes, "Hey Cons 56, do you like dragons?" Yeah I guess. That's good because I was dragging my nuts across you face the entire game. I'll admit, I still laugh thinking about it now. I was playing Halo 3 with my brother one time when someone on the other team was 1 kill for 18 deaths or something similar. He was running around and shooting at people occasionally but generally missing a lot and dying. Once the game is over we end up in the post-game lobby with one person on the other team swearing at the guy that went 1/18. We hear a strange rustling noise followed by a rather drowsy sounding. Dude, what the frick? How do you die 18 times and only get 1 kill? Sorry dude, I fell asleep in the lobby. You were moving around. Wheel. It's only me and my cat here. TL. DR. Someone either blamed their cat for their terrible performance in Halo or one of us got killed by a cat. Raided with a gal during Blackwing Lair who had 2 kids around the same age. It'd be around 11 PM and we'd hear these elementary school age kids say stuff like "Mommy we're hungry" and she'd respond with "Not now mommy's raiding." We booted her after a month though because she was an awful healer. It's worse when she's a horrible healer but her husband's a good tank. A kid didn't want to drop from the game, so he went and took a crap while still talking on live. New games are intense. We use radios at work, warehouse, and the other day when someone was called for, he radioed right back that he would take care of it once he was off the toilet. Was on a break during 25-man raid in WoW. This guy's mic opens and his tune starts running straight for the boss and all I can hear is him scream "Fluffy knew." Fluffy is a cat and we all know where she sat. We were wiped out as most people were AFK. Not strange I know, but it was funny enough to remember from BC days. Be right back cat on fire was a great way to signal AFK. On FXC, we were camping Fafnir. It just popped at around 4 AM and this one dude in our link shell had school in a few hours. Just when we start fighting it, his mom comes in and starts yelling at him for staying up all night and he starts yelling back, "You ever kill a Fafnir mom? Have you?" They went back and forth like that for about 5 minutes. Funniest crap I ever heard. For some reason I'm picturing Danny McBride, and he's deadly serious. Someone called in an airstrike on the original Modern Warfare, so my team fell back, while one guy ran across the stage screaming, "I gotta find Bubba" into the mic. So I used to join Black Ops 2 lobbies and talk in my deep but bass voice. Had some guy ask me to call a phone number. For some reason he thought I wouldn't do it. I did it. His friends were laughing but he was telling me to just hang up. Whoever the chick was that answered was pee off. Like even before I called. Who the frick is this, and then some yelling that apparently picked up on the mic. That happened in the lobby. We get in game. And the dude who told me to call just up and left. I kind of want to believe he got chewed out by his older sister or something because of me. Just to clarify though, I never said anything rude to her. I went in hello there. I was told to car, then yelling and yelling, then she hung up. I once happily overheard a friend of mine online answer the door for a delivery package. He had his PC set up in the living room apparently and kept his mic open. Why was this unique? Because after about 3 whole seconds I then got to happily overhear my friend's dog come crashing into the scene and valiantly defend his owner from this delivery man. Much swearing and panicking was heard. Last week I was playing GTA Online in a heist with some kids. Youngest one was maybe 12 or 13 maximum. During a setup mission his mom entered the room and told him to get off the Xbox. All he does is play games, etc. He told her he couldn't because he was almost done with an online mission and he would quit after. We finish the mission and start to queue up the finale. Someone asks if he needs to log off. He says nah, I'll just tell her it's still the same mission. Mid-finale mission, static starts to come over the mic and it sounds like a scuffle. Then you hear him pleading, no, please don't turn it off, you can't do this. There are other players, I can't quit. It will end their game too. In a no fricks given dead serious angry mom voice, I hear your dad is in jail because of you. We're going to lose our house because of you. Silence. Log off. A few minutes later he was back in party chat. Sorry guys, we're having family problems and my mom gets like that. She's a salty C. Poor kid. Wonder why he put his dad in jail. Playing MW2 Search and Destroy. I get drop shotted and as I die I hear a dead player on the other team scream, frick you grandma. Drive yourself to the hospital. Push the objective like you're delivering a baby. Just get that thing out of there. I play with some interesting people. My push like you're 12 months pregnant never got one laugh. Not even an acknowledgement. I've been using it since early Dota 1. It didn't bother me back then, but now that I'm a father, 5 times over, I'm a little bitter my stupid jokes aren't laughed at. Back in WoW days, vented some Sunwell Plateau raid with somebody who turned out to be like 5 years old and more interested in the colors and the screen than the task at hand. We were all ready to land hard on a poor performer, but when we realized it was a kid and maybe a slow kid at that, everybody tried to be as nice as possible while still keeping the raid together. It was actually one of the nicer WoW experiences I had. I joined a game and straight away heard the flesh was raw pink. I asked what flesh had got an almost instant reply. None of your freaking business. Haven't touched Black Ops since. Arby's. In my Killzone days on PS3, on the EU servers occasionally I would come across these 2 Russian guys that for the whole match would just be yelling, and I mean yelling, completely unintelligible things down the mic. It was impressive how they managed to do that and actually play the game at the same time. I guess I would call it strange because I have never experienced anything like it before or after this happened. I was playing an 8v8 in Halo 3. I had just started getting into the online world of it and was really enjoying myself. So I'll look for a match and get sent to the lobby right before we went straight to the game. If I recall correctly, you would get to vote on what type of match and the map you wanted to play in. So as we do that, one of the guys starts a beat. Then a second joins in the exact beat. I recognize it as the We Will Rock You by Queen beat. Then one guy starts to sing it, the next verse was someone else, and the song went on and on. I even pitched in. After we finished no one even recognized what had happened and normal chat continued. It was pretty cool and it has never happened again since then. I tried to initiate it once or twice but ended up making a fool of myself. No better way to intimidate the enemy team than with the full Skyrim theme tune in barbershop quartet style. Playing Halo 3 a few years ago when a player shouted to a friend, hey, we can go to Red Lobster if it ain't too expensive. Imagine a very thick backwoods accent to get the full effect. Not strange, but it was amusing. While playing WoW, a raid of 40 people, The shaman yelled to his young daughter. Sarah put the poo back in the toilet. It wiped the raid. This is what I miss about WoW. Two of the best were It's Like Jesus Christ Was Born Again, only gangsta and one dude who did commentary on the entire Halo 3 match, professional quality broadcast commenting. It was amazing. Once when I was a teenager, one of the guys in my party chat started yelling at his friend in the room with him. Apparently the friend brought a baby tiger in the room. They lived in Las Vegas, and the tiger ripped his pillow up. He then sent us pictures of the tiger and his ducked up pillow. It was very much a what the frick moment. That's got to be one of those things you really need proof before it's believable. Used to play Gamma Battles back when COD 4 was the popular game. A full grown man sobbed on the mic after losing his unbeaten record. It was really quite sad actually. I heard a kid get beat by someone who sounded like Dr. Phil on an indie game. It was kind of funny, but I couldn't tell if they were serious. Dr. Phil, you sexy man. So this was on Burnout 2, maybe, I'm not sure. It was on Xbox Live. My wife is playing and this little kid comes on and starts talking crap to her. She said something about I'm going to tell your mom. The kid replies my mom died in 9/11. My wife, without missing a beat, well, glad something good happened that day. The kid just starts bawling his brains out. Apparently he wasn't lying about that. My wife then spends the next 3 hours talking to the kid online, like a mother. She played with him for half a year or so, helping him with homework and different things in his life. Then one day he just vanished from online. My wife is now a PC gamer, but she makes me pay for Xbox Live and she logs in one every month or so to see if the kid has been online. I want to say it's been 5 years and she hasn't spoken to him. That is heartbreaking and heartwarming in one paragraph. All credit goes to USC2 bench, but I thought this was a really good story given the question. I have legitimately heard someone on my team break up with a girl during a game of Dota 1 voice. He was using open mic and she was like, "Get off that stupid game. Take me out to dinner," in this horribly entitled voice. After around 10 minutes of him being calm and saying things like, "It's okay baby, just let me finish this game. I will get punished if I leave," and her just not understanding that she issued an ultimatum, "If you don't turn that game off right now and take me to dinner, I am leaving," and he just typed in chat, "Pause please. Need to break up with my GF," and everyone LOL'd and paused, and the dude just went freaking ballistic like, "This is my apartment. You stay here on my dime. I buy you all your food. I give you money to go shopping. You don't get to issue ultimatums to me when you don't have crap without me. Get the frick out of my apartment. This relationship is over." Then it was lots of her crying and yelling and bringing up all this crap he did wrong in the past as if that was going to help, and eventually he just said, "Sorry, relationship is over. I don't care. Bring a truck and one of those douchebag bar guys you love to frick so much to get your stuff tomorrow. See if any of them are willing to clothe, feed, house and frick you." And everyone on voice chat just went ooh, and we were typing everything that was happening to the enemy team. He eventually got her out of the apartment, and boy did it sound like the guy had a world of pressure off his shoulders. After the game I friended him. We still talk on Steam sometimes. He really ended the relationship and ended up just putting all her crap in a storage locker when she didn't come get it for a week. He has a new girl now who apparently isn't as awful. I'm just imagining this quiet pause and the yelling as all these voices go off from the headphones across the room. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.